on because it is 6:29. We want to get all of our peeps, our squares, if you will. We want to get them all in a line. It's hard to align a square without a protractor. I'm really psyched because I can hear you really well tonight. This is yeah. It sounds so much better. It's amazing. You sound amazing. This is the voice I know. Yeah, as long as it works with the OBS, which I'm hoping it does so far. I mean, we're coming up into a minute, so I'm gonna, since it's 6:30, let's get a little music going. Why don't we? We'll do that in a sec. Hold on. I like the Brady bunch behind you. I can name almost all of them. Well, you look like Marshall. You totally do. Everything sounds different. And welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, on this June 8th, Monday. Oh, the June swoon is here. And yes, that is not a mirage. It is not your imagination. It is, we missed her last week. We were sad. We are glad now. She is back in the center square of the Steve Square Show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emily Vaith to the show. Woo! We were very concerned, you know. I even have something for you. I had a good, what did I have for? Yeah, let me see what I had. Oh no, that's a laugh track. I didn't want to laugh at you. I thought I had some, oh, here it is. This, no, I'm sorry, this is better. Oh, I thought I had I don't know where my, you know, I'm so upset here. No, we're not doing this until I give you the proper applause. I thought I had applause here. Where is my applause meter? Wait for your applause meter. Let's see if we have. Anyway, where were you? Yes. No, you didn't. What support? What? I didn't even, what support? Yeah, I didn't hear any support. What support? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. And you know, you wouldn't be the only one that wants to take away my voice sounds. When I'm in the studio, they don't like, Steve always says, you know, I wish I could take that control away from you. And, but never happened. You didn't even compliment, you didn't comment on my, let's see if the folks can see this, what I'm wearing today. Got that? Well, sure, and it's my favorite show now. And he's a little weird. I wanted to let the people, I wanted to give Sesame Street a little shout out because they did a nice little weekend thing, like kind of like a town hall meeting, but instead of politicians blabbering and talking where nobody listens, Big Bird was helping the country get it together. So we always like in times of trouble when we can rely on a giant 8-foot bird to help us. That's where we've come to. We've come to the point where we need answers from Big Bird. I think when a country's unraveling, you look to Big Bird and he puts it right. Thank you, Big Bird. Mm-hmm. That's weird. I'll have to take that. I'll have to take back. I'll have to take back my birthday gift I got you then. I got you a. So let me see what's going on here. We have you're in the center square as you're in the Brady Bunch. Somehow you got in the middle of the Brady Bunch this week. Now, do you? That's horrible. I was just going to ask you. No, wrong show. Do you have a favorite Brady? Now, you're right in the center, so that's where Alice would be. Alice is the, I'll give you a little rundown. Alice is the housekeeper. She's the housekeeper. That's nice of you. Do I have an applause meter here? Where's my applause? I don't know where. Oh, I found it. Here. Well, I shut that. That was not an applause. I thought I had an applause. My favorite, I have to say, I like Greg. I like actually Peter. Peter is the one in the middle. He's the middle boy. He's very funny. The Brady, yeah, exactly. The Brady sequel movie was so funny. You should watch that. That's really good. What's the thing? Mm-hmm. Sure. Is Peter ruined for you? You know, let me tell you where it's got. Let me tell you where it's gotten. It's gotten to the point of thinking of things to do. Where actually, I played a game with my mom. Guess how many extra strength Tylenol she has taken, which I got right. Very good for me. I nailed it right. I nailed it right on the nose. Can you give me why don't you give me you controlling Zoom, give me a hands up or something. Give me a reaction. Thumbs up, right? Why is there always a thing?
Wrong. Wrong.
No, you know what's happening?
Wrong.
You're getting wrong. So basically, we were doing that. So we were trying to come up with things to do. So yeah, I guessed how many Tylenol my mom took, extra strength. So I'm winning that game. We're doing the old keeping that game. My mom was actually reading. My mom was trying to tell me a joke, and I told her I gotta start editing her jokes. It was getting too long. I was like, Mom, I gotta go do something. And she was. No, I'm in the middle of the joke, so he's doing. I go, Mom, just say the punchline already. And now I'm irate, and now I feel bad because I don't have the good humor anymore. I'm just angry, and then she delivers the punchline. She delivers the punchline, and she goes, and then it was funny though. I don't know the joke. I don't know the joke. Yeah. I was just gonna say I don't know the joke to recite it off the top of my head because she lost me 5 minutes in. Once we hit minute 10 of the joke, I was all lost. I have a very poor attention span. So I told Mom, you got to edit these jokes. Snappy, quick! Quick jokes. I know. So it totally is. We have such a good docket on the menu today. Let me give our folks a good idea of what we're doing here. We have, we always have our rants, which we'll get to. We're always very angry. We're very angry people. We might only have time. No, we'll have time for two. We're going to do this thing, which is funny. We're going to play movie swap. Well, first of all, there's a lot of famous movies that have other titles that we didn't know before they became famous. So we're going to take a look at some of those for some movie trivia, and then we're going to play the game ourselves. And how it works is I'll give a sample here. Say, for instance, The Wizard of Oz. We all know The Wizard of Oz. It's got a little dog, a girl, huge cyclone, blows her away into another world. I thought it would be, you wouldn't even miss a beat if we renamed Wizard of Oz Gone with the Wind. And that's how the game is played. So you get a real movie title to supplant the new movie, the original movie title, but it still has to fit. It's got to be a real, it's got to fit. So Gone with the Wind could easily be in the title of The Wizard of Oz. And that's how it's played. Yes, that's exactly. So see, now you're getting the hook. You're getting the idea of the game. I hope our audience at home would like to play. We would love to have you join in. I would have you call in, but we're still home and you can't call. I'm sorry. Well, that's good. You and everybody else join the party. Oh boy, you're asking. That's a hard question to ask. Well, what did we do? We talked about. What did we talk about? I talked about, and you could put that post up. Toys that made us. If you have that picture, pop that up. I definitely wanted to hear your toy that made you. Toys that made us. Yeah. So those are all those toys, and we all had favorite childhood toys growing up. I liked Legos and Lincoln Logs and things. I always had my go-to toys and things like that. You must have had a toy you. I'm getting, and this is, hold on one sec. We're calling in with Sally. Hey, Sally. Oh, wait, hold on.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
We don't hear Emily at all.
Really?
Really?
Oh, wow. Oh, how did you hear? Oh, you don't hear Emily at all. Let me see.
We don't.
Hold on, let me try this. Tell me if you say something now, Emily.
Can you hear me?
How about now? Is that any better?
No. Hold on.
Keep talking, Emily.
I'm going to keep talking, and if not, I can...
Oh, you hear her through my phone,
computer.
but you're not hearing her through the computer. That could be difficult. Are you hearing me?
We hear you.
Well, that's all that counts. it's a one-sided show.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we can give you a second. Emily, yeah, if you think you could fix the problem, and I'll entertain the audience while you fix the problem. Thank you for that update, Sally.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Great to hear from you. Sally, if you could text me, thank you. What happened?
Is that better? Is that better?
I don't know. Let me
I don't know if that's better.
let me see if that's better. It's so funny. Hold on.
That was great.
Yeah, everybody's texting me they can't hear her, so this is an audio issue. So let me see if that's better. Keep talking. I'm going to raise your volume.
Can you hear me? If you turn my volume down...
No. Say it again. Talk again.
Yes, you did.
I'm hearing you two different ways, which is a little odd.
I know. Can you hear me?
That's better. I can hear you, but let me see if they
Can anyone
can.
else hear me?
That's what I'm going to check right now.
Can you hear me?
I'm going to check.
Oh boy.
Keep chatting away and let's see if we can hear you. Now, we missed everything from you, and
I know.
can you hear?
No one told us.
Hold on. They did. I wasn't looking at my phone. I was too busy playing. Hold on. I just asked Sally. Keep talking. Let me hear you chatter away.
I'm gonna keep talking.
Keep using your voice.
Chat. If not, I'm gonna see if I can connect through a different.
Okay. She's going to let me know when she can hear you. So, is there a different way you can connect?
Yeah.
You still can't.
Give me 1 second.
But you know what?
1 second.
Oh, it says there's a minute delay usually, so keep going because it might be a little bit of a delay for her.
Okay, if not, I'm gonna.
Hold on 1 second. You just stay tight 1 second because I'm getting a text feed from her, and this might have been, ladies and gentlemen, what we're having is a little technical issue with Emily's audio feed. Okay, they can start to hear you, but it's not great. And now let's bring, ladies and gentlemen, a surprise guest that's just jumped into our window. It can't be. Is it the real deal? Now, do you have to accept him in?
Okay, there's no video.
Can you get him in? What?
He needs to turn on his video.
Hold on, I hear Steve. Wait, I think that's a Steve sighting.
I'm gonna change my audio, Steve, so we
Wait,
can try to get
you
this
change your.
figured out.
We can hear you, but it's a little weak, Emily. But I'm trying to see where Steve's audio is. Are you there, Steve? There he is! Oh my God! Ladies and gentlemen, hold on a minute. The one and only, the guy that's been in hibernation. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one, the only, the other half of the square, Stephen M. Woo!
It's lovely. Did you get my text about 10 minutes before Sally called?
You know,
I couldn't hear Emily.
I know, Sally, I was, you know me, I was too busy fuddling with the blurps that I didn't see your text and I didn't see Sally's. Sally said, Emily, that it's a little better. It's a little better, not great, but they can hear you now.
This is the first time I've ever done Zoom. How do I get a background picture? What do I do?
Oh, you know, well, let's save that for another day, Steve, because that could blow the whole scene right now. I know Emily is the center square for the Steve Square show.
Is it better? I'm trying to fix the sound.
It's getting good. It's actually pretty good.
Sounds better.
It does sound better. Stay with that because
I had some great content that Steve, because he wasn't paying attention, completely.
First of all, I could hear you. I didn't know until I checked the phone. Now, let me before I'm totally rude here. Let me do a little introduction here. Let me intro Miss Emily, who has done a fabulous job filling in for the lost soul of Steve Mangiaracina. Steve, say hello to Emily.
Hello, Emily. How are you doing?
Great, Steve. It's so nice to finally meet you.
I know, seriously. You're the center square. So you're either Alice or you're Paul Lynn.
Okay, I'm gonna tell.
That's Steve. You gotta know. She's not gonna get that.
Is that old?
That's that much. Well, I'll give you that, Steve.
I was just never interested.
Now,
thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I now, Steve. Emily had the same complaint that you have all the time.
What's that?
And unfortunately, our audience couldn't hear. Tell her the complaint you have that Steve shares with you. Go ahead, Emily.
I want to take away the sound control from him because it's a mess.
She doesn't like that I play those blurps, that I give the boos and the wrong.
Oh no! How many more times are you gonna hear wrong? How many more times?
Steve, now it's 2 against 1, so I think that means that we actually get to take control away from you.
I don't
Wrong.
know.
Oh.
Wrong.
Steve, that's so rude.
So, Steve, tell the folks, where have you been? We've missed you. We are excited. I'm so excited you're here. Tell us where you've been. What have you been up to?
I've been, for a month I was in the basement. I didn't go to work. I protected myself from whatever disease was out there.
Good. Now, is it impervious to the basement?
It is. Seriously, I didn't have enough time to prepare. I would have made a nice setting here, and built a set or something. Or
No, it looks great. We're hoping this doesn't last much longer.
But
we all can't be Emily that sits in the center of the Brady Bunch.
As you know, yeah.
It's special, okay? It's very special here.
Steve, did you have a favorite Brady? Who was your favorite Brady?
Who was my favorite Brady? Well, it was probably Bob, and either Bobby or Peter.
I said Peter.
Because they were young. I was young, and I kind of related to them more than Marsha and Greg and the other kids.
That's true. Now, I'll throw another one at you, Steve, real quick. Me and Emily were talking about, Emily was lip syncing. I'm wearing my Sesame Street shirt.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty street.
I'm repping now, Steve. But what else didn't you see? I did in your honor. What am I wearing on my head? Can you see the hat I'm wearing?
Yes, I remember that. That's a Bally Total Fitness hat.
Very good, Steve. So you see, me and Steve at one time in the past worked at a health club, Bally Total Fitness. So since Steve was coming on, I wanted to get a little nostalgic, and now...
That's good. You know what I found?
What did you find?
I don't have any Bally clothes, but you know what I did find? I found the Bally Total Fitness fanny pack.
Oh, the fanny pack.
I love a fanny pack.
The fashionable Bally Total Fitness fanny pack, where we kept our date book and our cards.
Yes.
Right?
Now Emily, how do you feel about a fanny pack? Would you dig a guy with a fanny pack? Or a girl? Would you dig a guy or girl with a fanny pack?
Emily,
yes. A guy, no. Here's the thing. I actually don't mind fanny packs. They're very helpful. They just strap right on. But the thing is, I don't really feel about a guy with a fanny pack. I think it's as a stage manager for my other job, it was great because it was just all my tools. But there's something just strange about seeing a man casually wearing a fanny pack.
If Batman can have a utility belt, that's kind of a pure utility belt,
My shirt. My shirt.
Why should I sit here and talk? Because every time I talk, there's going to be something being played on the other side.
All right. I'll lay off the thing. Hey,
this is it. I hear Sally wants me back, and so
yes.
Thank you, Sally. Yeah, now I'm back to this. Thank you. Not Emily. Emily, you're good.
I'm just giving you applause.
No.
I didn't give him an applause, but I'll give you an applause. You're welcome.
Steve, you're going to be very excited today because not only, Steve, and Steve is well aware of my constant sponsor of the Froth.
We're not sponsored.
You have to say it yourself.
I have a new sponsor today.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Now that's the only orange juice that you I know you abide by.
Right.
You do not like. You insist there's sugar in Tropicana.
I have a problem with Tropicana, but Simply Orange is what it says. Simply Orange. And as you can see the trend here, I'm very up on my orange. Now, Steve, Emily, did you answer? Well, your voice mic was off, so we were talking about. There was a segment we did. Put that up for Steve, so he can see your background of the toys that made us. Toys that made us. If you could put that background for Steve.
Yes.
And Steve will see that. There it is. Toys that made us. It was on Netflix.
And you wanted to know my answer before we got...
Yes, so we got your answer cut off. So, Steve, you think about one of your favorite childhood toys, and Emily, you tell us one of your favorite...
I'm going to be honest, and this is going to sound crazy. I didn't really play with toys as a kid. I started performing and working professionally at the age of 4 years old, so I guess just make-believe was my thing, but also...
I feel like such an underachiever right now, Steve.
I'm right with you. At 4 years old, I was not a professional.
Listen, I really liked reading, though. I got taught how to read at a very young age.
I wish I was a precocious child.
Yes. So, Steve, what about you? Did you have a go-to toy in your childhood?
I had a few, I guess. I liked cars. I had Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and I had blocks. And I would build things with blocks to go with the cars. I would build a shopping center. And as I got more creative in my future endeavors, I would take boxes and I would make them into little stores. Like I would make a little shopping center and I'd put a supermarket.
Like a city, you were like a city planner.
I would cut out the logos from the newspaper ads, like A&P or something like that.
Wow.
And I would pathmark and I would paste it on the sign of the windows.
With your hands. You're very...
Steve is very good with his hands.
I'm really
I don't know what that means.
Look at these hands, Steve.
You're a hands-on guy.
Look at that.
Now, Steve, share with me and Emily. Well, that's a real close-up of your hands. Very nice. You've done I can see you're really abiding by the clean the hands with soap. You're doing a good job. That's a great close-up. You're getting a nice close shave too. Are you using Harry's razors like I am?
No.
Another sponsor of the show.
I love Harry's. Just throwing it out there.
I was disappointed with Harry's.
What?
Why?
With Harry's. I hate to say this because I hate them so much, but Gillette really is a better blade.
You have anger towards Harry's.
I don't hate Harry.
That's
It's still not as to me. I don't get a good shave.
Is that you want to make that?
I hate Gillette because they're expensive and they take you for all you're worth.
It's a designer blade. Let's be honest.
Yes, it's a designer blade.
It's designed to close you on high-tech shaving.
This is a designer blade. If you can't handle it, go use the Wilkinson. Or the Harry's.
I love Harry's.
$1 Shave Club.
Now, exactly. Now, Steve, that's pretty good. I'm going to give you. I'm going to make that part of your.
This is unacceptable!
Absolutely.
Now, Emily she has something curdling her beef. I don't even know if that sounds delicious, actually. Curdled beef was actually one of my favorite dishes. But, Emily, throw a rant out there. Give us one, and then I'll give one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was talking about this with Steve earlier.
Which Steve?
When I get you.
See, now, you have two Steves on. You got to be specific.
Sorry, Steve K. over here.
I'd rather be known as Funny Man Steve K, okay?
Funny Man Stevie K.
Thank you, Steve.
That's not going to happen,
Oh,
but
boy.
in your heart, I'll call you that in my heart. So basically, I was talking to Stevie K over here earlier, and we've had this conversation before, everyone, but I just want to reiterate something. You cannot get attached and want commitment when you've never met someone and you've been talking to them for 2 weeks. I had a situation where I got bored, so I went on some of the apps, and I was talking to someone, and he, after 2 weeks, flipped out on me. I sent Steve video of some of the language that he sent me. He started yelling at me saying, "Do you think my IQ is 65? Do you have any idea what's going on?" I was shook.
Now I'm a little lost. Is 65 a good number on the IQ? I don't even know if that's good.
65 is bad.
65 is bad, okay.
So he was just screaming at me, over text. He was like, "Do you think that I think that you're only talking to one person?" And I was like,
well, here, let me give you my doctoral analysis right away.
Doctor of what?
I'm a doctor of love, okay? Better than Dr. Phil. So what has happened here, which I will speak, I know, Steve, thank you. Is this, I'm guessing, an online dating app?
it was. I was bored.
Do you want to share which one it was?
It was Tinder.
Oh, there's your problem right there. That's not the way to go. You're gonna meet crazy people on those sites. So, and that's a free site. You get what you pay for, especially in the love department, right, Steve?
It's not fully free. Don't be fooled. You have to pay for a lot of upgrades.
I've never paid for love, at least not in New York.
And including right past that one. But that's my rant. I think that people who get attached and act crazy like that and controlling need to take a long walk off a short cliff.
I love my life.
So I'll give you. Let me give you my. I'll give you a quick rant. I'm ranting. I'm going to rant this week on Peapod. Have a huge problem with Peapod.
Stop and shop service, right?
Yeah. So my mom, I got her a delivery from Peapod. You can only do it late at night. They come. They don't have half the order, and I'm not talking about the things you would think. I mean, it's like Tic Tacs. You don't have. Is there one that I don't know on Tic Tacs? Gum, raisins. I mean, please, Steve, back me up on this, Steve.
Since when do you take Tic Tacs? That's.
I was going to ask the same thing. Who orders Tic Tacs from Stop and Shop?
Well, look, if you two are not going to back me up on this...
I'm surprised that even said that.
Well, I was trying to make an analogy to the trivial items that I order that they don't bring, that are not essentials. I mean, what are they doing over there, for God's sakes? Steve, give me one of your... do you have a delivery service that you like, Steve? Steve, any restaurants that you've partaken in during this quarantine that you want to give a shout-out?
What is the pizza place in Massapequa? I forgot the name of it. It's
Alberto's.
Alberto's is good. Yes. I tried another one down on Merrick Road, over by St. Rose, the strip mall by St. Rose.
Oh, you told me about that. They're very good, right?
The name of it. It was really good.
So we wanted to give.
One big strike though. They are Pepsi people.
Oh.
Sorry. I got Coke.
Pepsi more than Coke.
Too much, too sweet, and Coke goes with my pizza.
So you're a pizza and Coke guy.
Yep.
Emily, you're a Pepsi girl?
I actually like root beer more than anything else, but if it's like they don't have root beer, which pizza places typically do, it'll be Pepsi.
You know, I heard they were going to start putting real beer in root beer.
Great.
Steve, is that true?
Yeah, sure.
You never back me up on anything. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
I just backed you up.
Well, how would you say that?
What?
Listen,
how am I supposed to laugh at this? Really?
All right, fine. Anyway, that was my little rant on whatever. Now, let's see if we could get into this little game here, Steve and Emily. I had this list of movies. I did a little investigating work. Movies that we know that had different titles before they started. And I'll give you one. So Back to the Future, does anybody know what Back to the Future was originally going to be called? Gonna get back in time. No, that wasn't it. But everybody knows Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox. It was
I'm really bad at this.
The Spaceman from Pluto.
Oh, I have that.
Because there's a scene where the kid's reading a comic book, right, Steve? And
The Spaceman from Pluto.
Exactly. There's a couple. Hey, do you know That 70s Show?
I love that show.
You know that show, right, Steve?
Yes.
That was.
You know what? I just look. Can I go back to pizza for a minute?
Go back to pizza. Yeah, please go back to pizza.
We'll go back. We'll go back to titles.
Yes.
Because I just saw that here.
Yeah, give him a shot.
Sally mentioned Calda, and I have not had Calda in Massapequa. I've had Calda in Hicksville. That's really good.
Hey, Calda. Where was that, in Hicksville?
There's one in Hicksville, but there's one in Massapequa and there's one in Levittown.
Okay. Oh, so it's like a chain, or they have different locations.
It's only a local. It's local chain.
Local chains.
Okay, go back. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I'm glad you got that. Yeah, if Sally's giving us information now, we miss Sally too, and we thank you, Sally, if you're listening, for letting me update us on the voice sounds of Emily, and for us to fix that.
So, Sally, you're in my heart, even though I have no idea who you are.
Oh, you will meet Sally. That 70s Show was Teenage Wasteland.
That makes sense.
Oh, no, I'm glad they changed the name of that.
Yeah? And
yes, the 70s Show is so much better of a title. Teenage Wasteland sounds like zombie apocalypse show.
But that would have worked.
It was a Who song in the 70s. So
Teenage Wasteland. Teenage Wasteland. Friends are everybody's favorite show. Friends.
Unpopular opinion.
Now, Friends had 2 titles that they were trying: 6 in 1, which that doesn't even make sense. 6 in 1, and the other was called Insomnia Cafe. I don't know about that.
Any of those.
Insomnia Cafe.
One sounds strange, and like it would be on an X-rated site, and
X-rated site.
Insomnia Cafe. This reminds me of Insomnia cookies, honestly.
Hey, Steve, do you know about this? Steve's very good, Emily, in case you didn't know. He knows a lot of this, like, TV, movie trivia stuff. If you have a question, he's the go-to guy. And I'm going to ask Steve this question right now. Let's see how good Steve is. So, going back to the Future, what was the deal with Crispin Glover? What happened there? For him not doing the sequel or whatever? What happened?
Don't think the story I think happened. He didn't want to do the movie, the sequel, and for some reason, whether it was money or whatever, so he didn't, and they just kind of put him in. They took footage from the first film,
right?
Put him in there, and so he sued.
And he won.
He won.
And that was a major.
That crazy guy, yes. He won.
Crispin, you know who that?
To kick
Letterman.
Kick check Letterman on national television.
Yeah, that was great. You know
it
who?
Was a great moment.
You know who Crispin Glover is, Emily?
Yes, I know the movie.
Back to the Future. He plays. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep us all here. Last week I was by myself. This week is squares all over the place. Give me a break here.
We're so fresh. I would not have joined the conversation and laughed if I didn't know who it was.
He's so patronizing, isn't he?
Well, that's what I do. Hey, did you hear this? Is this accurate? In London, in London, this is in England now. You know where they keep London? It's also in England.
Right.
They have put a law that you can only be with someone if this is a family-friendly show. If you are married or living together, you can't go visit somebody and have engage in friendliness, or you'll somehow be.
You law in London?
In London, they put this in just this week.
To be honest, is that fake?
No, that's if you look it up.
I was about to say this is something you made up.
No, if you look it up, it's there. I'm not lying.
Here's the thing. I feel like London would be the lowest on the list of things, like, of places that would happen to first. Because, like, if you think about the punk rock movement, like, it was just the center of all of that. So, that is why.
Well, I'm sorry, but don't go there if you want to get online dating. They're not going to like that.
I really think that you're lying.
You look it up. I do not lie on the Steve Squared Show.
How would you even get how would you get arrested for that?
I don't know.
You would have to have someone be like a real snitch. Like,
they come knock at your door with the bob. You know what happens?
FBI, open up!
That's what happens right there, and you don't want to be caught right there. Hello. Oh no, I don't do a good. I don't do a good. Steve, do you do a good English accent?
Jolly
You've caught me with my knickers down. You've caught me.
My name is Michael
it would be very like, oh no.
Oh no, the Barbies are at the door. Pull your knickers up.
Harry Potter!
Harry Potter! I was just in the middle of eating off the treaches. Now, they're big on fish and chips over there.
Yes.
Steve, do you know what I found out?
What?
Arthur Treacher is a real person.
Yes, he is.
I thought it was just the name of a fish.
Now are you serious?
I did not know that.
He is
You did not know that?
a great actor. Well, he was a great character actor. He lived most of the time he lived in America. He was always played the butler. He's in Mary Poppins. He's in a few other movies. He was, not that this matters to anyone who was born, but he was Merv Griffin's announcer and sidekick back in the 60s.
It's pretty interesting.
Yes, it is.
I thought he was just, and he makes a wonderful beer battered deep fried shrimp.
Yes, he did. He went into lent his name to this thing, and he, in the restaurant, his picture was on the wall. Too.
I didn't know. You learn something every day. I saw that on, I don't know where, Jackie Gleason was talking that he had him on one of his shows. I was watching a Jackie Gleason.
He did a lot of TV, too.
He did a lot of TV, too. Now, I'm going to commingle something for a second. I have to show off. I was telling people at home, and I want them to play this game, and we'll work it out better in the following weeks, because I didn't give Steve and Emily a lot of time to prepare.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. I kind of told them in the middle. Hey, before I get to that, Steve, how was the beach today? You said you made a little run down to the beach.
I did. I'm doing a lot of rundowns to the beach.
How was it down there?
It was warm. You see, look at.
You did. Steve got some nice color. Wow.
Wolf Farmer.
You got a lot of color.
He got a lot of color.
I did.
How was it?
It got to the point, it's been a month when, I did basically nothing. It was just driving me nuts, and I couldn't, I had to do something. The weather got nice about 2 weeks ago, and I started walking. I started walking over to the Massapequa Preserve.
I know it well. That's where I run.
I know you do. And I did that. I walked all the way up to, at one point I walked all the way up to over the bridge to Bethpage. Not too bad. And then I started doing the beach a few times, so I've been doing that a few times.
Now, this is perfect segue because Emily has been getting, I've been training Emily. She's been we do some Zoom training.
You're a client.
She's not only a member, she's a client.
No, Emily, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's all right to be a client of a personal trainer. Some people poo-poo that. You know that. But it's perfectly fine.
Emily, tell him how I am as a trainer.
This is very honest. I grew up playing sports, so I always had a coach. I always had someone to push me and someone who helped me gauge my limits. Because what I've noticed is a lot of times I will get to a point where I don't know my limit, and Steve can tell you I like to push. I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to do it anyway, and that could get me hurt. So I actually really like having a trainer to help me gauge where I'm at, and to help me with new ideas and teach me how to do things without me hurting myself, which 90% of people I know just go to the gym and then we'll be like, oh, I pulled a muscle, and you're like, you probably shouldn't have been doing what you were doing then. So,
you're a very good trainer.
Thank you, Steve.
Even though he might stop the session all of a sudden because he needs Celsius.
Do I drink Celsius during the session? Never.
No, but you have them with you in your car.
Yeah, they're always on hand.
Well stocked. It's well stocked.
I can't be somewhere without a Celsius. They have to be near me during the show, and in my car when I'm driving.
For me, I always have either a Gatorade or an iced tea. I'm an iced tea person.
Now, Steve, I have to say, you look terrific. We haven't seen you in a long time. You've been counting your steps. You said you're using a step counter. I mean,
yes.
you got the head shaved. You got you shaved the top. You look fantastic.
Just did that. Well, yeah, exactly.
How many steps did you do today, Steve? Give us a number.
I'll tell you in a second, because I just don't want to say things, and you may or may not believe me.
I believe you.
Okay, I'm going to show you right now.
We never lie on the Square Show.
Look at that. That is today.
Wow.
15,273 steps.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I did barely 1,000 because I work from home.
Yeah.
No, I think I might have reached 1,000 on my walk around the backyard.
Yesterday was my high point, and that was really crazy. I can't still believe I did that.
Do your freaking best.
How was that necessary?
You know, the thing is, it's also super delayed. Like it would have been funnier if it was earlier.
Well, here's the problem. Okay, Miss Technical, you know what also would have been better if your audio worked? For God's sake!
This was yesterday.
You told me it worked.
How can I know? I'm not listening to the show. I'm only watching it. I'm only in it. I don't listen to it. I don't watch the Steve Squared show, for God's sake. Steve, what was that yesterday?
Steve and I are
2,511.
But now Steve and I are fighting.
I've got balls of steel.
He's just trying to comfort me right now, okay? And I did nothing.
Well, hold on a second here. No. Steve, we're very proud of you.
I'm very proud. That is very impressive, I have to say. I
So,
have not done that.
Can I get to my game for a second, please? Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you. So, the game I was trying to invent, I'm inventing a game. I'm going to talk to, is Parker Brothers still around, Steve? Are they still manufacturing games?
They are, but they're owned by Hasbro, and they basically, most of the time they take the name off of the box. It just says Hasbro on it.
Hold on, Steve, fix your audio for a second. I think I lost you.
What do I gotta do?
Did you hit something? Did I
I
hit?
didn't touch anything.
Oh, yeah, it's getting a little... Yeah. You're okay.
Okay, just a little loud.
Yeah, so...
So let me tell you something before we go on.
Go ahead, Steve.
After all this walking, my feet are like killing me. I got these blisters.
Right.
So I did some reading, and
See, now your voice just changed. What happened?
I don't know.
Now it's clear. Now I'm getting great sound.
Okay, then I won't move. I'll just.
Couldn't tell me that I was getting no sound.
I don't know what's going on here.
So I did some Googling and whatever, what to do when you have blisters.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that you can use Vaseline.
Okay.
Put a little on the blister, and it actually works very well, and it soothes it, and it's easy to move. So, my portion of the show today is brought to you by Vaseline.
I have to do
Like that, Steve. Like you think you have all the.
Laws that
That
you're
is-
supposed to give me.
That is.
So your portion of the show is sponsored by Vaseline. The lean that's always there for you.
Remember, it used to be called petroleum jelly, but they've changed the name now. It's called healing jelly.
Now, why is that? Is that a lawsuit issue, or is there no such thing as petroleum jelly?
I guess petroleum is not a attractive,
Yeah, I was gonna say petroleum isn't a good thing.
but they've called it that for like a billion years.
Yeah. All right. So it's like they don't call Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore; they call it KFC.
Well, you're right, but they're back into Kentucky Fried now. They've decided, well, people don't care. They want to be fat. So
All right.
that's it. We'll just call it Kentucky. What it is, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
Well,
Good stuff.
Good.
I have to tell you,
Tell me.
something really sad happened to me. I tried to be good and exercise a little bit, and I got bit by a tick.
Oh no.
How do you know? How did you even see? They're so small.
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but it was on my stomach. Like I have no idea. I have no idea how it got there.
What?
But literally, I looked down and I was like, oh no! It's like such a fear.
But now this is serious. Steve, is this serious?
Yes, it is.
Do you have to get is it rabid? Was it a rabid tick? No, I meant the
They don't have rabies. They have Lyme's disease, Steve.
Now what if this tick had corona?
It didn't. No, but I have been watching it. There's no rats. I'm in the clear. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was I once heard that if you do get a tick, just in case something happens with it later on where you get a rash,
Right.
good to keep the tick and date it or know where it was from.
You gonna date a tick?
Yes.
On Tinder.
On Tinder?
They
Oh,
suck
Tickter.
Tickter. Ah, Steven.
Yeah, did you like that?
I did.
Yes,
I
you
had the
did.
same thought. We did have the same thought because I had a lot of them suck the life out of me.
Oh, very good. Now you got to watch out for that. You don't want Lyme disease. You're better off getting lemon disease. Oh.
have started this.
I'm sorry.
I knew this would happen.
What do you got there? What are you showing us?
I took the ticket, I put it in a bag.
Oh, come on. What is this, X-Files? Stop it.
No, it's just in case anything happens.
There's no tick in that bag.
Yes, there is. Look. Oh, I just disappeared.
Where are you? I just lost you in the abyss of the Brady Bunch.
You can see it on my thumb.
Oh, I see it.
That looks delicious.
You're nasty.
If you don't let me get to my game right now, I'm walking away off the set.
Even I will keep quiet.
Alright, so what my game was, and this is what I was trying to do, was since there were other movie titles we were talking about, I wanted to replace movie titles with another movie. But it still makes sense, okay? So I'll give you an example. The Wizard of Oz. Obviously, we all know the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Of course. So I replaced the Wizard of Oz with Gone with the Wind. Get it? It's very Wizard of Oz, very windy. Gone with the Wind was a movie.
I said either Tornado or Midnight Dream.
Well, you could have done Twister, right? Wasn't there a movie Twister?
Yes, there was.
That would have been perfect. I'll give you another, and you tell me if you guys like this. Moulin Rouge, The French Connection. Now, Steve, you'll like this one. And, Emily, can you put up the background for this?
What is it?
Put up the background for The Shining. Show Steve your background for The Shining. There you go. Look what she's got there, Steve.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
She's got the hallway.
I know.
So I thought The Shining could be, you got a couple of names. I got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
No, because it's not no, that one doesn't make sense.
How's it, Steve? What? All right. And then the other one I had, and it seems appropriate since it's June, Father's Day. Since that's Jack Nicholson embodies the father in all of us that we hope to be, is when you're irate, you go right to the axe and the bathroom door.
Where's the cricket button?
Stop it. I have buttons. Let me give you one more. This is good, Steve and Emily. Boogie Nights. We've all seen Boogie Nights.
Oh, yes.
You know Boogie Nights, Emily?
Yes, I know Boogie Nights.
I'm just making sure you're still with us. Boogie Nights, I would replace with the movie Big. The Tom Hanks movie, Big. Get it? Oh, my God. Come on, people, help me here. All right, I got one more. Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston. Was that Charlton Heston?
Yes, it was.
Ben-Hur could be called The Crying Game. That's a little... Or maybe The Crying Game could have been called Ben-Hur. Maybe that makes more sense. No?
I feel like it was just a hair off. There's something about it.
It was just a tick off. It was just a tick off. The last one I have, and this is not a great one. Well, Steve, this is me and Steve's one of our favorite movies is Jaws. We love Jaws. Sure. And I thought we could replace it with the title of the movie MASH. What do you think about that? MASH, Jaws, no? That was a stretch.
Well, sharks don't mash. Maybe they gnash. I wouldn't say they mash.
All right. Do you have a better title for Jaws? I want to see one of you come up with something. I was working all night on this. I didn't even sleep last night, as you could tell.
Yeah. What's the movie that came out recently that's like 40 Below?
40 Below?
Yeah.
And call that what?
No, that would be better for Jaws. Like calling Jaws 40 Below. That's the one.
That could be. I like that. Or Meg. You could call it Meg. And now Psycho. We all love the movie Psycho.
Rosemary's Baby.
Psycho with Norman Bates. I have a couple titles for Psycho. I thought it could have been called The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That one's good.
Thank you, Emily.
That one.
And the wonderful Al Brooks vehicle, Mother. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for playing Movie Swap. Yeah, so I think that catches on. I want some ideas from you guys next time.
You might also make the joke with Jaws that it's Rosemary's Baby.
Wow, that's
Horror movie, come on.
that is something right there. I think you're mixing genres and metaphors there.
Listen, you called Ben-Hur the crying game. That didn't make any sense.
Steve, does that make sense? Explain that, Steve. Help us out here.
I don't know.
See, struggling for words, which means I'm correct. Thank you.
Fine.
Now we have
I'm
tiebreakers.
sorry.
Now, I don't know if we got a couple of minutes. There was a segment I think Emily would love as an actor. We're all in the entertainment field here, even though people probably couldn't tell by what we're doing. We like. I'm sure they can't really, but.
I'm so crushed today. I don't understand.
How I know the time. You know why we had a little hiccup, a little IT problem. I do. There was a segment, and we'll try to see whatever. I liked how there was a couple of YouTube videos I saw called "How I Got the Part," and it was about famous people, and they talk about how they got the part of their first, role that they're known for in a TV show or a movie. And if the people Google it, it's actually it's really good. It's called "How I Got the Part." But Steve, me and Emily did a show, and it was. There was a podcast I love. It's called "How Did This Get Made?" And it's about, they just go over these awful movies. Obviously. Do you have something in your bag of tricks of a movie you were like, how did this get made?
I'm trying to think offhand. How did this get moved? Like
just something horrible.
Like it's a terrible movie, or like how did this
okay.
get the cutting floor?
God, there's so many of them.
There is. There's more bad ones than good ones.
There are. I was thinking about it, and once I started thinking, I was like, oh, like.
It is true. I watched one last night.
What was yours?
Ad Astra with Brad Pitt.
Oh.
Not a big fan.
That wasn't so bad.
I couldn't get through it. I didn't even understand what it was about. And I don't know if either of you saw the Netflix vehicle staying in the space theme of Steve Carell has a new show called Space Force. It's just terrible. That's another one.
Not funny at all?
It's not. Steve, watch it tonight and you tell me.
People think that it's going to be like The Office, and
it's not.
Well, there are a few other people from The Office in it, right?
Yeah, but I also, she's not in The Office, but I love Jane Lynch.
Yes.
Is she in it? I love her, but...
She's not even funny in it. Like, none of them. It's a great cast, but none of them are funny. It's the writing's bad.
Yeah, a movie that I think, there's two, that I think should have been cut, burned, destroyed. Anyone who had anyone who had good feelings about it should be fired. The first one is Jupiter Ascending with Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis.
Oh, anytime Channing Tatum's in a movie, it's an Oscar winner.
It's exciting.
No, that's incorrect.
I'm sorry.
And I love Mila Kunis. Like, she's my girl. Matt 70 Show, Black Swan, love her. It was one of the worst written things. Like, I had no idea what was going on in the entire movie. It was sci-fi. It was bad. It was bad. Have you thought of one yet, Steve?
I can't think of any of them. Like, I'm not prepared.
You know what? Let me tell you something about Steve, Emily.
Okay.
Steve is a nice guy, and it pains him to ever to really. I'm the opposite of Steve. I'm all about. Steve always says I have venom, or not venom. What do you say I have, Steve? Vinegar.
You have quoting from an old movie called oh God, what the hell's the name of it? It's with Burt Lancaster, and he tells Tony Curtis that oh, you're a cookie full of arsenic. I'd love to take a bite out of you. That's what Steve is. He's a cookie full of arsenic.
I am a cookie full of arsenic.
Never go to the movies with Steve. Oh my God! You know when Steve hates the movie, because for the next 2 hours you're just gonna hear.
Okay, but if you think so bad, If you think so,
yeah, this
I am arsenic
wanting in the back.
Yes, but I even get Steve. I even get worse with the previews.
Oh,
Yes.
me too. If you don't have a good preview, then how are you going to expect to sell the movie? I don't understand.
Well, like when you go to the movies and you watch all the different previews of movies, those are 25 minutes now. Well, not that any of us would know. We haven't been to a movie, but
I know.
that's. Oh, Steve, that was wait. Oh, this is what I didn't get to ask either of you
Huh?
because I was alone last week. So I'll throw it out there. This will be a good close to the show. We'll start ladies first. Emily, what is, as things start to open up and we get to do something again, what is that one thing you miss? That's the first thing, and not the essential, hugging your family or being with your family. What's that one activity, the one event that you're going to be all in?
There's two things. One, going out to restaurants. So my dad's a chef. So one of the things that we used to do all the time was we used to love exploring different restaurants and sitting down and just having that moment where he didn't have to cook, and we also got to explore different cuisines. So I really miss that, and it's been definitely hard in terms of that. And I hate ordering in, never again. And then the second thing, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. As soon as I get the go-ahead, I'm gonna go skydiving.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, why can't you do that now? It seems very socially distant.
You're literally attached to someone
You're
jumping.
attached to the
Oh, I thought you meant just jump out of a plane by yourself.
to the coach.
I mean, I wish. I probably wouldn't have
Tethered to them.
shoot if I did, but
I-
no, it's strapped to your back. It's weird.
I'll do it with you, Emily. I'll be the one I'll be the coach.
Okay, no.
No?
Wait. No.
Probably not a good idea.
It's okay.
Steve, what about you? What are you missing, fella?
I'll tell you, when this thing comes all over and we're all ready to go, I'm gonna go to a local bagel shop and get myself toasted cinnamon raisin bagel with butter. That's the thing.
Now, I think you're
A
being.
real bagel,
I think Steve's being a little. Well, I don't think that's his real go-to. He's giving me a little needle, Emily, because he knows sometimes I tend to attack people who have cinnamon raisin bagels with the cinnamon raisin bagel. I have been known to attack people with a cinnamon raisin bagel.
No, like that guy in James Bond with the hat. Steve.
Yes.
He's got a packaged cinnamon raisin bagel.
Steve will never let me live it down. Somebody thought they were doing a nice thing, bought me a cinnamon raisin bagel.
It really was. Oh my God. You know what? It was Steve's friend too.
Not anymore.
I'm sure he is.
What did you do?
It was so funny, but it was hysterical. Emily, it was like watching a sitcom. I never saw anything so hysterical in my life.
What happened? What did you do? Did you attack one man?
Steve was carb deprived because he was doing his bodybuilding show, his first bodybuilding show, and oh my God, I mean, he was just a multitude of emotions, mostly bad.
You're going through withdrawal. That's what's
And
happening.
this friend of Steve's, who worked with us, felt bad for him, and he did something nice. He went to get him a bagel. Now, there's a Target next door to the gym. He went to Target, and he got a bagel, a packaged cinnamon raisin bagel. Otis Spunkmeyer, right?
Right.
And he goes, "Oh, Steve, I got you a cinnamon raisin bagel." And Steve's having a fit before this, and he gives him the bagel. This is package of color, and throws it at him across the room. Poor guy jumps away.
I mean, in my defense, if who would eat a packaged bagel, Emily?
I will agree. Here's the thing. If anyone tried to give me a packaged bagel or even a bagel from Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts,
Oh.
no longer friends. That is disgusting.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you. That's offensive.
You do not get to take out your withdrawals on some poor person who's trying to think of you. You accept it, say thank you so much, and then you toss it when they turn around.
But how would they learn? He needed to understand
So
not to make that mistake again.
No,
It's all a learning process. It's a learning process.
This kid
That
was
was so
the
fresh.
nicest guy in the world.
He was a nice guy.
And you know, I think I'm on Facebook. I'll text him and tell
Text him. We mentioned him on the Steve Squared show. So
If Steve ever did that to me, I would throw it right back at your head.
throw it right back at his head.
Face scale,
Well, I'm glad we got one thing. I'm glad we got one thing cleared up on the show today. Do never gift me a packaged bagel. We love when people learn from the Steve Squared show. It's important.
Don't give me a bagel from Starbucks or Dunkin'.
Okay, right on. Guys, we did pretty good today. I want to thank both of you, as always. Steve, oh my God, we missed you so much. People have been texting, wondering, where's Waldo? Where's Steve M? My other square, and here he is. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Emily, always a pleasure. You guys can catch more of this fun festivities on govsradio.com and all the other shows, Steve, right? There's a bunch of great shows at Governor's.
Of course.
The Worked, Knock 'em Dead Comedy with Tony and Sally. And to mention, I want to throw that out there, June 27th is at Governor's Comedy Club, hopefully. They're doing an outdoor donation drive. The shows are going to be there, and we're going to collect food and things like that. Don't bring like a plate of spaghetti. I believe it has to be canned food. don't show up with like a takeout order of lo mein.
Bring a fruit cake.
Bring a fruit cake. Don't bring a bagel packaged. Do not bring a packaged bagel. I will not accept it. I will throw it at your face. At your moving car, I will hit your car with the bagel.
Such anger.
But yes.
We used to play baseball and softball, so we have pretty good aim.
Emily will do my throwing of bagels. But that's going on. You can check more information about that on the Facebook of Governor's Comedy Club radio page or Instagram, Govs Radio, Steve Squared Show on Instagram or Facebook. And Emily, why don't you tell us where we can see you? We always love to see you and follow you.
Actually, recently, I have to tell everyone, I deleted my social media.
Good girl.
I just needed some mental space, but you can still catch me. I didn't delete my profiles, so you can stay up to date with my Instagram, which is my name, Emily Vaith, as well as my Facebook, my Twitter, whatever floats your goat. Whatever you want to stay up to date on. I also can be featured on the Steve Squared Instagram page. That's a fun thing to check out. Otherwise, I guess you'll just have to, come June 27th to see me in person.
So, what did you think, Steve? How do you think Emily is? How did you guys think of each other? Give us your honest opinion.
Honestly, I think Emily was wonderful. She's brought some good points to this program, and sometimes we need that.
That is true.
Or you need that. But we need that. But we need that.
I'm so angry at you, Steve. I will text you all night.
I loved having backup when I disagreed, and we all know who was correct.
Yeah, this felt like 2-on-1. I'm not really happy with this. I'll talk to Larry later, and I'll get this all cleaned up. I'll talk to the big boys over at Governor's. I'll get this shut.
Together against Steve.
I'll get this show shut down.
Yeah.
But again, thank you all, everyone out there. Stay safe. Have a great week. We look forward to seeing you next week. And for myself, Stephen M., Emily V., and our new sponsor, Simply Orange, thank you and have a wonderful evening.
This thing's still here?
I'm still using the same. I'm still using the same little jingle, but hopefully, Steve, not for long, because we might get music. Oh no, Steve! Wait, I got the bongos.
It's worse. Don't worry. I have to dance every week.
Oh no. I'm sorry. We'll fade you out. Thanks again, everyone. Peace. Love. Later, gang.